Along the 1,694-mile passage through California, the Sierra Nevada mountains submit to the Cascade mountain range, a change in scenery, the rich landscapes of dormant volcanoes, and deep burn scars from old fires. As we descended from the Sierra section, Lake Tahoe was first to greet us, reaching a victory and welcoming in a new chapter. Lake Tahoe is North America's largest alpine lake with crystal clear blue water. Early July in Lake Tahoe is filled with fauna delights, warm smiles, and many tired hikers and friendly locals. There was a lot to celebrate in South Lake Tahoe. 1,000 miles walked, 3 months on trail, sore and healthy bodies, and friendship. Suddenly, we had reached another milestone. Northern California felt like the heart of the journey. I remember the first time I saw Mount Shasta, looming over me at 14,000 feet. The footsteps leading up to her display, I was eager as her silhouette came into focus. I yearned for this day for so long. As John Muir wrote, when I first caught sight of it over the braided folds of the Sacramento Valley, I was 50 miles away and afoot, alone and weary. Yet all my blood turned to wine, and I have not been weary since. Mount Lassen stands across from her, another natural wonder. They stand like old friends. Jagged peaks, lost among feather-like clouds, tell the story of an eruptive past these two provided. Hot, sulfuric water bubbles up like hot blood running through the veins of unspoiled wilderness. That first evening, humbled by the gentle hum of bees and vibrancy of flowers, I laid in the shadow of Mount Shasta. I could feel the emotions inside me rise and fall to the immenseness of this journey. My body outpours with awe, experiencing the patience it takes to move at the pace of a human being. I have found that I value experiences much more than material objects. I view places like faces, greeting the earth as so. These mountains are some of my greatest loves. Mountains that are actually volcanoes of creation and destruction. Pressure, the burden of physical or mental distress, explosion, a rapid release of energy in an extreme manner. Pressure, explosion, repeat. What makes these places spectacular may destroy us as humans. Under pressure, we may break. For some, recognizing what we need to say or do has been suppressed over years, conditioned to suppress what we feel. Suppressing our wild side, a side of rich emotion and hunger for the spirit, anger is born. Volcanic eruptions are responsible for releasing molten rock or lava from deep within the earth, forming new rock on the earth's surface. Perhaps release in any form nurtures a new beginning, perhaps necessary, something inevitable, a world that entails predetermined change. Change, letting go, expression, communication, a reminder that we are just hydrogen formed into helium, and helium built into carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen, iron, and sulfur. Like all that is, we will eventually melt back into the earth, return to what created and destroyed us. Moving past Sierra City, the spine of the Cascades are cloaked with western red cedars, Douglas firs, western hemlocks, pines, and spruces. The midpoint greets us at 1,325 miles deep. We are in the middle of the woods, standing between Canada and Mexico. It is a moment of celebration, achievement, realization. Drinking beers hauled in from town, it suddenly hits us as how far we've come, how far we have left to go. It feels heavy. I'm still here. Although we were out of the Sierra, the landscape was no less dramatic. Significant views, wildflowers, wild berries, golden vistas, hot ascents, and long winding descents. Days sped up as the snow melted. Suddenly, we were back to 20 plus miles a day. I had a new trail family that enjoyed covering extensive miles with long breaks in between. Days were long and nights were hot. Often we would cowboy camp with hot pots of food and the stars above us. At night, when all was thought to be asleep, the deer would hover by as the mouse made rounds through our food bags, chewing through tents and bags. Hot and bothered, we eventually learned our way into our surroundings. We were in another home, a home full of butterflies, wasps, deer, mice, and bear. No longer were we in the desert, nor the Sierra. As we pushed north, past the midway point, it felt like we were finally on our way to the Pacific Northwest. Everything felt like a dream. Every day passing, the air hazy with smoke. Long days pushing towards the border of Oregon, I felt determined. At this point, we were pushing days into nights. 20 miles became 30. The only thing keeping me attached to reality was the sharp discomfort in my hip, a sudden ache that throbbed with every step. Oregon was not far now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This is my section on Northern California and sharing with you guys what it was like to hike from basically South Lake Tahoe all the way up to the border of Oregon. A lot of people don't really give credit to the beauty that Northern California holds, and it has, but Northern California is just amazing. It is beautiful. You are returning back to the heat, to the arid, dry ground and the dry stretches that California holds. And there's a lot of contrast to the entire state of California. It's the desert to the Sierras, and finally you're in Northern California where things are greener and it's dry again and it's hot and it feels like summertime. There's a lot of highlights to Northern California, like Mount Shasta and Lassen Peak and all that is. And so I'm gonna wrap things up here and catch you guys in another video, but thank you guys for watching and listening and enjoying the art that I'm creating and the stuff that I'm writing, because I have a lot of fun with it and it's fun for me to share with you guys all this. So anyway, without further ado, I will catch you guys in another video. Take care. Bye.